Streams of East Texas are home to some of the most biodiverse and widely appreciated species here in the state of Texas. Ecology is the study of these species and their relationships to their environments. It's about understanding how all living things, including humans, are interconnected.
Regarding ecology, the East Texas region stands out with its unique hydrology and range of diverse species. River basins like the Sabine and Neches are home to native species as well as species of greater conservation need like the spotted sucker and the Sabine shiner. This makes studying the region of East Texas crucial. Dr. Carmen Montaña-Schalk, a biology professor at Stephen F. Austin State University, is at the forefront of these studies. Dr. Montaña's Aquatic Ecology Lab explores the health, status, and relationships of ecosystems while cultivating future researchers at SFASU. She has broad interests within the fields of freshwater fish ecology, fish communities, and evolutionary ecology.
In my lab, that is the focus in how I train my students, to train them to provide very good science, to do good research that is going to be very critical for conservation, for a management of our natural resources, of management of our freshwater ecosystem. So if we do the good training, if we prepare our students, I know that they are going to be able to apply those skills and help with promoting conservation of our aquatic ecosystems.
Definitely. How do you see that promotion of aquatic ecosystems play out in SFA, but also in East Texas?
So here in East Texas, and we are, as a SFA, we are a very good position in terms of the location in the Paniguitico region. We have some of the most diverse freshwater ecosystem, like the Neches River, like the Sabine River, largest rivers in the state, and contain the highest diversity of freshwater fish here in Texas. And for us, training students in the aquatic ecology and the aquatic biology field is very important, because we are like training that new generation of aquatic biologists that for the university looks very good, because we have this system here in our backyard.
While being a professor at SFA, Dr. Montaña also serves as a principal investigator and conducts research with graduate students. When visiting the lab, we spoke to two of Dr. Montaña's grad students.
So I'm studying two endangered species here in Texas. It's the sharp-nosed shiner and the small-eye shiner. And these guys used to be throughout the entire Brazos River, but due to things like damming, kind of really changing the hydrology of the system, they're now located just within like this really small portion of the upper Brazos River. So what my research is trying to do is, now that they're kind of really restricted, I'm trying to figure out what is affecting their kind of current distribution.
So for my project, I'm really just focusing on looking at potential environmental drivers and looking at just general fish composition between these two river basins in East Texas.
Annie was kind enough to take us out for a day of field sampling to give us firsthand insight to a normal workday for the crew. The day started at 6 a.m., loading up the biology truck for a long day of fieldwork. Students packed seine nets, buckets, waders, technical equipment, and lots of water. When we reached the site, the crew quickly unloaded the car, wadered up, and went straight to work.
We'll drive to our site, and the first thing that we do is we'll perform a habitat assessment of this site. So our sites are about 150 meters in length and in total stream length, and we'll set these transects each 50 meters apart. And then we'll take environmental variables at each of these 5 transects. And overall, all these values are averaged to represent our habitat for that particular day. Following the habitat assessment, we perform backpack electrofishing for a minimum of 900 active shocking seconds in the upstream direction. And then we'll perform seine netting. And through these 2 methods of fish collection, we will be able to sample all of the available habitat. And in the field, we will preserve all of the fishes after anesthetizing them. We will preserve all of the fishes, and then in the lab here at SFA, we will we'll identify, measure, and count each species for each of these 60 sites that I've been sampling.
Once field data and specimens are collected, the laboratory work begins. Here, students are exposed to fancy science equipment and gain hands-on experience conducting research.
We have 2 fish collection methods, and then we'll keep all of the fishes collected during those 2 methods separate. So fish sorting looks like separating all of the fishes from each method into respective trays, identifying the species to the species level, as well as taking a measurement of total length, so kind of like the tip of the snout to the end of the caudal fin, and finally, just counting them across both of the methods. And then after all of these after all of this data has been recorded, then we will transfer all of these fish to 70% ethanol for long-term preservation and storage.
This is an important area of study because when we disrupt these delicate ecosystems, we not only harm the environment, but jeopardize our own well-being. However, there is hope. People around the world are coming together to protect and restore the planet in many ways. Leading the pact for a better world is research. These ecosystems need our help, and studying them is one way to determine how we can help. As stewards of the land, we feel it's important to shed light on positive steps towards environmentalism and celebrate the hard work that's being done to keep our home healthy.
Thank you so much to Dr. Montagna and her Aquatic Ecology Lab for taking the time to share their knowledge and passions with us. If you'd like to know more or get in contact with Dr. Montagna, her email is montagnasgc@sfasu.edu, and her website can be found at carmengmontagna.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you've learned a little bit more about East Texas ecology and what makes this place just so special. Now, all that you have to do is get outside and discover for yourself. With abundant trails, nature reserves, and parks, the world is truly your oyster.